What's up, my beautiful people? My name is Joe and today we're going to talk about the dark fantasy anime. If you're not familiar with dark fantasy anime genre, it's pretty much like a fantasy genre, but if you would put it inside of a death metal music video. Yeah, it's pretty much an R-rated fantasy genre. And so, grab your skull-shaped wine glass and let's get on with this list. But first, let's not forget about that this video is sponsored by Manga, TOON and Comic. You need a website where you can read manga, comics and manhwa for free. Well, you need to look no further, because on this app you can watch pretty much all the manga and comics that you need. Like this favorite manga of mine called Mortals of the Doom. Meteorite carrying a deadly virus crashes into the earth, and that virus turns people into zombies. Okay, cliche aside, a main protagonist wakes up after being a zombie for 90 years, and when only 90 minutes before that meteorite hits the earth. And what can he do with only those 90 minutes? Well, you will need to find out in the description down below, because you can read this manga and many other only on Manga TOON. At number 10, we have JUJUTSU Kaisen. When I say JUJUTSU Kaisen, the first thing that pops in my mind is curses.
You bloody you blunder!
Well, not those kinds of curses. The curses that I'm talking about are the curses that will leave you up at night. In this anime, curses are literally the embodiment of fear. They get a physical form, and once they do, who you're gonna call? Ghostbusters! No, for real, you need to call Jujutsu sorcerers. They are individuals that are masters of curse techniques, and they are trained and employed by Jujutsu Kai to defend humanity from cursed spirits. This anime has literally no chill. It's going to show you all the gruesome parts of being a Jujutsu sorcerer, and for me personally, this anime was a breath of fresh air for this stupid year of 2020. And hopefully the only reason why this anime is only on number 10 is because it's still airing. So people from the future, feel free to bash me in the comments down below. At number 9, we have the Tower of God. This anime got me like an arcade out of nowhere, and I am really happy about that. And Tower of God is based on a webtoon with a concept like this. Do you want your desires to be fulfilled? Well, all you have to do is climb the impossible Tower of God. And if you think that you're ready to climb Tower of God, you will need to face countless challenges ahead of you. And this tower system reminds me a lot of the system from SAO. Hey, where did you go? Don't go away. This anime is actually good. Please, come back, guys. Come back. And now that we're all back, let's continue with the story of this anime. In this anime, we followed 25th BAM! That is only trying to climb the tower in order to be with his best friend, Rachel. Let's move on to the next one. And at number 8, we have Claymore.
Back in my days, we had big titty women fighting with big swords, not like today's kids what they have.
And yeah, that's exactly how I would describe this anime. Big titty women fighting demons. And those demons are not exactly called demons, they are actually called a Yoma. Yoma can disguise themselves into any human form, and who do you have to call them? You don't have to call demon slayers, you don't have to call even Jujutsu sorcerers, you have to call claymores. And claymores are pretty much big titty women with big swords that are called after the sword, claymore, you know, that medieval sword. Still, I'm joking, this anime is not only about big titty women, this anime has an amazing story and it should really be checked out by everyone. And it really reminds me of another anime that will be on top of this list, so comment down below, guess what anime that is. I think you probably know what I'm talking about. Don't be shy, do it now. And at number 7, we have Re:Zero. When we say Re:Zero, what's the first thing that pops in your mind? Well, for me, is that movie from the 90s called The Groundhog's Day, but with an isekai fantasy trope. This anime starts off with a guy being in front of a grocery store and all of a sudden he's in a fantasy world. And at first this anime makes you think it's a typical isekai genre anime kinda thing. A guy gets dropped into a fantasy world, blah blah blah, MMO kinda thing, and that's it. Well, that's probably what you think when you start watching it for the first time. But once our guy Subaru, yeah, he's named after a Japanese car manufacturer, gets his he is pretty much stuck in the loop. Unless he finishes his mission, he is going to get resurrected, you know, like pretty much like he is playing a Dark Souls game. And at number 6 we have Madoka Magica. How can you put a magical girl anime into a dark fantasy anime list? What is wrong with you, Joe? Well, nothing is wrong with me, but there is certainly many things that are wrong with this anime. And not in a way that this anime sucks or anything, but this anime is so messed up, man. In this anime, teenage girls are forced to hunt witches in order to feed the devil called Yubei. And you probably never imagined that the devil looks like this cute little teddy bear, but don't be fooled by his looks. He's evil incarnate. This anime is pretty much a curveball for many of you that were searching for dark fantasy, gloomy kinda looking anime, but still, it's a really good watch and should be checked out despite being a magical girl anime. Not that magical girl anime are wrong in any kind of way, but you know, it's a dark fantasy list. At number 5 we have Made in Abyss. Another curveball from Joe. What are you doing on this list, man? What are you doing? At the first glance, this anime looks like a regular fantasy anime. But in fact, this anime is a dark fantasy anime. In this anime, kids are going inside of the abyss. And what is the abyss? Well, it's a big crater that looks like your mom's. Okay, I'm not going to say that one. But you can guess what I wanted to say. Abyss is a big crater that holds many secrets, and the adventurers all over the world come to explore these depths. Now that mom joke sounds even more awful, but what can you do, man? What can you do? And those adventurers include children, and the upper levels of the abyss look kinda harmless. But don't be fooled, because once they go deeper and deeper, the dangers are bigger and bigger. There is literally a level of the abyss that makes you bleed out of every hole in your body. Enjoy that. And did I forgot to mention that the main protagonist of this anime is actually a kid. So, yeah, it's freaking dark, man. And at number 4 we have Fate Zero. Fate series is a really big clusterfuck, isn't it, guys? And why should you even care about it when it has so many parts of it? Well, if you watch Fate Zero, you will know why. In this anime, mages use historical objects in order to summon historical figures. Or maybe the figures of myths and legends, like King Arthur, who is actually a girl in this anime, Gilgamesh, and of course, Alexander the Great, or in this case, Iskandar. And why do they summon these mages? Well, of course, to fight for a holy grail. The Holy Grail in this anime offers you an opportunity to grant you any wish that you want, just like a genie in the bottle thing, if you get me, for both mage and the legend. So if you're like me and you like history, this anime is probably the one for you. And don't forget, this anime has King Arthur with titties. At number 3 we have Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Alchemists are people that can transmute objects in order to create new ones. But in order to create something, there is a law of equivalent exchange. In order to create something, you need to bring exactly the same amount in return. And it was only about a matter of time when someone would get a brilliant idea to create a human, or in this case, recreate a human. We all know that everyone is made out of chemical elements, and why shouldn't they recreate a human? And obviously our main protagonist, Edward Elric, tries to do that. And what does he have to give in return? Well, an arm and a leg, and his brother's body. And this anime holds many dark secrets, just like this one. And that is what our protagonists, Edward and Alphonse, are going to explore. At number 2 we have Attack on Titan. In this anime we have things called Titans that swarmed all over the world. And what are they exactly? They are colossal humanoid figures that are going around eating people with endless hunger. And they brought humanity to the brink of extinction. And what did humanity do in return? They created huge walls, just like the former president of United States, Donald Trump. This anime shows us pretty much every single possible way a Titan can eat a human. And that is pretty much why is this anime on the top of this list. And the story is great, of course. And at number 1 we have none other than BERSERK. when I say dark fantasy anime, this is pretty much the first thing I think about. In Berserk, we follow our main protagonist called Guts, that has a hard life to say the least. His hardship begins with literally the day when he was born, and I know that this was never shown in any anime adaptation, but our guy Guts was born from a hanging woman's corpse, man. And if you're watching this at 2 in the morning, you're probably thinking, what the hell am I doing on YouTube now? I should go to sleep, man. And as the title of this anime says, this guy, more pain he gets, the stronger he gets. And the only problem with this anime that I see is there was never a true anime adaptation. There was the anime from the 90s that was good for its time, but still it didn't finish the story. And then there were movies from the Golden Age arc. They were good, but they still didn't cover everything. And then there was a god-awful adaptation that came out recently. Just, it doesn't exist. Just skip on that one and hope to almighty anime gods that there will be a good anime adaptation of this show. Hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button. Tell me in the comments below if there was an anime that I missed. And I hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one.